Thank you, Mr. Hodge. Okay, and y'all join us in a moment of silence. Okay, thank you. All right, approval of the agenda. Have a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Thank y'all. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, approval of consent agenda.
Move we approve, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Thank y'all. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Motion's passed. We have no visitors. All right, Mr. Spurlock, recognitions.
Yeah, well, it's a great opportunity to recognize some very bright young people. You know, about 3.5 million students each year take the PSAT. The top 1% or so are identified as National Merit semifinalists, and we'd like to recognize these individuals. So if we call your name, if you come on up. First of all, we'll start with Central Magnet, Aiden Brown. Is Aiden here? Come on up, Aiden. Alan Burleson. Nathaniel Cardle. Scott Dupree. Isabella Goodnight. Elise Jones. Anderson King. Jacob Klassen. Rachel Qualls. Isabella Reich. Yang San. Kendall Sprague. Joshua Stuckey. And Faith Vyers. Let's give them a hand. Dr. Ash, would you like to say anything about these young people?
Just want to say, as you said, they are very intelligent young people, but it goes well beyond that. They have incredible work ethics. They have planned their futures out in quite a bit of detail. But as competitive as they are, they also work well together. They help each other out when they need it. They just have a tremendous character that shows in everything they do.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank y'all.
All right, next from Oakland High School, Hannah Summy and Cooper Wally. Is Cooper here? Well, Hannah, we're glad you're here with us. Thank you very much. I don't see your administration here. Okay. I'll say a lot of good things. We appreciate you, Hannah, and thank you for all you do. All right, next, Blackman High School, Jeffrey Wilson. Dr. Justice, would you like to say something on his behalf?
I got to meet Jeffrey when he was a sophomore. Really got to meet and work with him when he was doing a student assembly when you were a sophomore. Do you remember this? And it was an amazing process to work with him and the other young people who were involved in that Jeffrey's interested in politics, I believe, and because of his mom, has been way back here, so maybe. But anyway, we are so proud of him, and thank you all for doing this recognition tonight.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Let's give every one of them a hand again.
All right, we'll move on to school safety.
Okay, like last night, Mr. Krim went over the school safety funding. This year, we received $889,760 per state law. The school board must approve the budget. David Krim submits the budget for allocation that you see attached. Mr. Krim, along with engineering and construction, have worked together this budget and request your approval. Motion to approve the 2019-2020 Safe School budgeted expenditures as presented.
So move.
Thank you, Mr. Hodge. Have a second? Thank you. Any questions or comments on that? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Cram, working on that.
Appreciate it.
All right, David Urey, PTO.
Yeah, David Urey, obviously, we know that the entire school just about moved over to Rocky Fork Elementary, and along went the PTO. So they're requesting to form a PTO. And I think we went over that last night. You can see their paperwork is all in order. So recommend a motion to approve David Urey Elementary PTO as a board recognized PTO for David Urey School.
Any questions or comments? Have a motion? Thank you, Ms. Sharp. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Johnson. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 10.
All right, number 10 was the information only on the classification of what was once referred to as RTI coach, RTI instructional coach, back to instruction coach. The reasons being is in the past, it was funded out of our title funds. We want to build capacity throughout our instructional department. Therefore, we would like to call them instructional coaches and also be collaborating with the instructional department as they make improvement throughout the school, working with our teachers.
Any questions? Comments on that? Okay, number 11.
All right, number 11, the facilities use approved for exemption pursuant to board policy 3.206, public education, schools and institutions, post-secondary education institutions, private universities and colleges, governmental entities or agencies that provide benefits to the Rutherford County school system or have an in-kind relationship approved by the director of schools may request a Board of Education to allow an exemption from the use of facility fee, which the board may allow or deny based upon the details of specific request. You will notice down below those that are asking for approval. This fee is in lieu of any kind, an in-kind contribution outlined in our MOU, and it will be subject to approval of the policy revision and MOU provisions. And if that's not passed, then they will be assessed a fee retroactively. Motion to approve the following groups requesting fee waivers for the use of facilities in policy 3.206. We have the Cub Scouts meeting at Walter Hill Elementary, Fit Kids America after school program at Barfield, Girl Scouts meeting at Rockville Elementary, Rocky Fork Middle, and Stewart's Creek Elementary, OMS Junior Theater Festival Group and Center Stage Academy, talent show meeting at OMS, Rutherford County Sheriff's Office, TWRA and RCS, SRO Drive program meeting at Las Casas Elementary, and the Walter Hill PTO Holiday Market at Walter Hill Elementary. Motion to approve the following groups requesting fee waivers for the use of facilities to policy 3.206.
Questions or comments?
Move we approve, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Jordan. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Moore. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Policy Committee recommendations, just the number and the heading.
Okay, the Policy Committee recommendations found on tab 4. We know the committee met on August 18, 2019. The following list of policy changes have been recommended for adoption by the board, and such adoption shall require 2 readings by the board. A change to the policy 3.206, community use facilities, was discussed at the policy meeting, but in light of additional legal research, that version of the policy has been taken off notice. Policy 1.101, role of the Board of Education. Policy 1.406, minutes. Policy 1.803, tobacco and vape-free schools. Policy 1.804, alcohol and drugs in the workplace. Policy 2.403, surplus property sales. Policy 2.805, purchasing. Policy 2.8051, credit cards, credit lines. Policy 3.202, emergency preparedness plan. Policy 4.602, grade point average in class rank 9 through 12. Policy 4.605, graduation requirements. Policy 4.700, testing programs. Policy 5.200, separation practices for tenured teachers. Policy 5.201, separation practices for non-tenured teachers. Policy 5.302, sick leave. Policy 5.303, personal and professional leave. Policy 6.2011, voluntary pre-K attendance. Policy 6.308, bus safety and conduct. Policy 3.218, service animals in district facilities. Policy 4.206, homebound instruction. Policy 5.308, sabbatical leave. Policy 6.506, students from military families. Motion to approve those that have been listed and recognized policies by the Policy Committee on second reading.
Questions or comments? Have a motion?
Move to approve, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Ms. Moore. Have a second?
Second.
Mr. Young? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, the second item.
All right, the second item is policy change proposal, policy 3.206, community use of facilities. In order to ensure equal access to facilities by nonprofit organizations in the Rutherford County community, the attached amendment to policy 3.206 is recommended to this board for adoption on first reading. This language allows the 501(c) organizations to request to pay for the use of facilities through an in-kind services equal to or greater than the value of the fee that would otherwise been imposed. The organization must obtain approval from the director of schools and enter into a written memorandum of agreement to memorialize the proposed in-kind service. Motion to approve the amendment, policy 3.206, as recommended by the director of schools on second reading.
Questions or comments? Have a motion?
Move to approve.
Thank you, Mr. Young. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Hodge. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right. Dr. Anthony, you got anything to add?
No new updates from last night.
Thank you. Director's update.
Okay, adding on to our, we have a modified or amended map of the proposed rezoning from Wilson Elementary to Walter Hill Elementary. We've added a little bit of section down the far left bottom corner of your map. We followed, I think it's Joe Brown Road, crossed over, went under 840 over to Buckeye Bottom, and I think we picked up an additional 40-something students there. To add to that total, you'll see if this is a proposed rezoning stays the way it is currently, we would look at the student number of 735, Wilson Elementary, and Walter Hill Elementary would be at 555. The dates that I had sent to you, I'll be modifying those dates. One of them, I know, was on November the 29th. And then Miss Sharp was gracious enough to remind me of that. That's Black Friday, isn't it not? Okay. So I don't think anyone would want to be there. So I'll be sending that out to you, making sure that those dates are okay with you. I think we want, the first two meetings will go to each one of the schools, and then the last meeting will come back to the board office.
Is that it?
That's it.
All right, thanks, sir. Okay, Ms. Johnson, you have anything to say? Mr. Hodge?
No report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Okay. General discussion. If y'all don't mind, Dr. Anthony, you told me a little bit about the Administrator Academy the other day.
Yes, sir.
Would you just fill them in a little on how good it went?
So Monday night, we had our first session we have a 7-session series for 21 hours total. We had 38 new candidates in our Aspiring Administrators Academy. And let's see, Dr. Justice, who's here tonight, she spoke at the Academy. We had 3 principals, 3 assistant principals, and our very own Trey Lee from our engineering construction. And we had a great 3 hours of activities and good questions and time for them to kind of get a real vision on the first night of what leadership, instructional leadership is all about. So we have 6 more classes, and James Evans is going to be talking at our next meeting. He'll be on the list as well. So we have, most of our nights are broken up across from instructional and the managerial side, also with assignments and additional readings. And so we're really looking forward to this group and watching them, bloom into our next administrators.
Thank you.
There was one other thing, if I could jump in there. On Monday, the 23rd at 5:30, we're going to be at Rock Springs. I get all these rocks mixed up now. Rockville, Rock Springs, Rocky Ford.
Yeah, we're not allowed to name any more schools
I
Rocks.
got you.
Please.
Rock Springs Middle School, we're inviting everyone to come out. Mr. Evans, I walked in the middle of his presentation the other day. He had it down pat. It's going to allow more opportunities for Q&A with each different people in our department. And did we have Ms. Page as one of the ones that gets the Q&A? I don't know if we did or not.
She's there as a backup.
She's there as a backup, okay. But going forward, we've kind of looking at it something that we thought would be very interesting to do. And the Chamber of Commerce was very excited about it, but bringing our business partners, our business industry partners out and providing them an opportunity to speak on some of the initiatives that they are doing. And hopefully during that partnership, we can, we may even get someone a job. You never know about that. I know we had a meeting scheduled, I think perhaps maybe on Monday, that we had used some information to send out to specific students that scored in a certain area, and they were going to bring the parents out and stuff like that, and we didn't have a very good turnout for that. So hopefully this will encourage our parents to get involved, because our mission, one of the things what we're looking at is educating the whole child, which involves life outside the classroom, and hopefully it's going to impact them once they leave us. Ultimately, that's what we want to do. We're empowering students to grasp tomorrow's opportunities, and we want them to take advantage of the things that we're teaching them.
And that's at 5:30 Monday, right?
It's 5:30 Monday. I think we're going to have a meal beforehand. Is that correct, James? No? Okay.
Anyone else?
Mr. Chairman, if I may,
Okay.
last night, many of us got to go to Daniel McKee, and then the previous week, several of us got to go to Smyrna West. And I'm not sure whose brilliant idea it was for them to have an open house, but it's very eye-opening, and I think it's great for the school board members and the parents to be able to go in and actually see what's going on. So thank you to
It was those two principals that it was their idea, and I appreciate what they did.
Yeah, it was great.
I know Dr. Brown told us last night that they had a tremendous turnout. Of course, we got there a little late because we had our meeting first, but they were so excited about the turnout, and I guess it was the first time that a lot of these parents have even been allowed past the front lobby to have the opportunity to see the classes and meet some of the teachers there. So, yeah, I was second Ms. Sharp's.
Ms. Sides, would you mind coming up and telling us, because, you know, we had some good conversations today in your PLC meeting.
Dr. Brown and I work closely together with our alternative schools, trying to make them as close as we possibly can, being in 2 different locations. She had mentioned to me that we should think about having an open house, and so both our faculties worked together and got that done. It was great for us. We had a lot of parents there, and I was very, very pleased with the number of parents who came and students who actually came back to school because they were proud of what they're doing. We made hours where our students actually took people on tours of our school and talked, and they were able to show parents and community members and other stakeholders exactly what they are doing there, some of the creative things that they're doing there. So we just appreciate all of the support that we get from the school board and from Mr. Spurlock and all the other principals and administrators in the county, and we appreciate that very much, because our kids are good kids. They just make bad decisions sometimes.
We appreciate your hard work.
Thank you, Ms. Ives. Anyone else? If not, we're adjourned.